Hello all, welcome again. Today we are going to learn how to design a bottle. As you can see on the screen, I have been given three views, the front view, the section view as well as the top view. So to begin making the model, I have varying cross sections throughout the body. Let me begin with the base. I have an arc of 85 which is maintaining 56.5 and 59.5 diameter at a height of 20 mm. The lower portion, that is at the base, I have a circle which is of 56.5, whereas at a distance of 20, as you can see, I have a rectangle which is of a certain diameter which can be made using the reference of 59.5 diameter. To understand better, let me begin by making my sketches. Since this is a non-uniform cross-section addition of material, we will be using different curves to generate the exact shape. So let me begin by making the component. The whole modeling is done using surfacing, so we get a better shape of the model. We cannot achieve the same in part modeling. Assume this is the curve. The height mentioned to us is 20. This diameter is 56.5. This diameter is 59.5. And the radius of the arc is 85. This is my first curve. Now, the same curve is also being used here. So, the shape follows this curve as well as this curve. So, instead of making the sketch again, I'd like to mirror this with respect to the center plane. Now, I have two varying sketches. The bottom is a circle and the end, that is at the 20 mm, I have a rectangle. I have a square. Sorry. Now, at the base, let me try to take a circle by using the ends of my curves as the references. Begin this making a circle and click on OK. This is the first sketch. Now, the second sketch is this particular square. So, I will need a plane because I cannot make it in the air following these 2 points and parallel to the plane. On this, using the same references which we have done while making the circle, I will be using the same references. Now, I would like to make a rectangle. Since it's a square, I need the dimensions to be the same. So, even if they are not, I will try to use the equal constraint to maintain the same length. I say OK. Now, to add material to these type of curves, to generate a curve in between, generate a surface in between these type of curves, you can use boundary blend command. Now, you can just simply select both the curves. Now, it's not supposed to actually follow this. It's supposed to follow these curves as well. So, I can use these two to make it follow this particular curve. Now, the surface is actually following these 85 radii curves and it creates a surface in between circle as well as the rectangle. The base of the bottom is always closed, hence I will try to fill the base using the fill command. Create a circle. You can also use a project if you're comfortable with it. Now, since both surfaces are not merged, I'll select both of them and merge the surfaces. Now, the same square profile is being maintained till 130 mm height. So, I'll just take the 130 mm from here. And I'd like to make a sketch. I'll use the same rectangle which is already there. The curve is already there. Now, once I say OK, it begins addition. We are in surfacing, so I'll shift the modeling to surfacing and select it up to the next surface or up to the plane. Now, I'd like to merge these two again since they're two separate surfaces. Now, the whole body becomes one single surface. Continuing with the drawing, there is a particular circle over here which is of 35 diameter. and at a distance of 190. So the surface which is supposed to be generated is again in between a square and a circle. So to make it simple, I like to use blend, wherein blend is a command which is used when you want to add material in between non-uniform curves. Now since I know the distance from the base till the end of the curve is 190, I like to use that as 190. Now, the two different curves for blend are, the non-uniform curves are the square as well as the circle. Now, I already have a square here, but if you want, you can still make a sketch again, or you can do it using the blend command itself. So let me use the blend command and begin making the sketches. I want it in a form of a surface, again sections. Let me try to make the first section. The first section is a rectangle and the starting point is actually over here. Let me remember this. Now, when I say insert, the second section will be automatically selected. I'll make a sketch over here as well and start making my circle. The circle is of 35 diameter, so I'll take this as 35 diameter and divide the body into 45 degrees, which is of the similar shape of the rectangle which sketch we have taken a while back. Now, I will divide the sketch. Since my starting point was here, I'd like to divide the sketch as per that itself. So, I'm dividing it into 4 different points. So, to create a blend, it will have the same number of sections. As you can see, the blend is created in the form of a surface. Now, I can again merge these two to make one single body. Now, the same radii of 35 is being extruded to 20.5 distance. So I'd like to take a plane perpendicular to this or maybe passing through that and try to make a sketch of the same 35 diameter. Since we have already made it, I am using that as a reference and continuing it to up to 20.5 in the form of a surface. I'll merge these two as well. This is the outline of your bottle, which is the shape. Now, we require to make these grooves for the bottle. So before that, let me try to give round so I can achieve the grooves very smoothly. The rounds which are mentioned in the drawing. Okay, the round mentioned in the drawing is actually R8. So I'll try to take R8. It's a typical, that means it has the same dimensions throughout. And the corners also has R8, as I've already mentioned, so it's typical. Now, as you can see, the groove feature is actually starting from 30 distance. So let me take a plane first at a 30 distance. And on this 30, let me try to make a sketch. Since a circle, a small diametrical circle, which is a 5 diameter, is passing throughout this profile, since a uniform cross section is passing through a particular path, we'll be using a sweep command. I'll just project these sketches instead of redoing the whole thing with the rounds. This is my sketch. Now, I'll use the sweep command. Say it's a surface, start making a sketch, and then we all know that the sketch is of a circle which is of 5 diameter, and say okay. It creates a surface passing through the profile which we have sketched. Now, the groove whatever you're seeing is actually removing a certain amount of material of the existing body. So let me try to create a merge in between these two and keep whatever I require and remove whatever is not necessary. I do not require this side, so I'll just try to flip it towards the other side and you can see the groove. Now, since we have the same feature, since we have the same feature about 6 times, so I'll simply use a pattern command to generate the same thing using a direction pattern, with which they have already mentioned 15 in the drawing with 6 numbers, and say okay, you'll get 6 different numbers. You can follow the same merge, like the second sweep and start merging and create whatever is supposed to be. Sorry, forgot to flip one side. No. The same again with the third sweep, the pattern sweep. Again with the fourth pattern sweep. Again with the fifth pattern sweep. Again with the sixth, the final one. This will be a merges. Now, since there are rounds provided in the drawing for this, which is RTYP, let me try to provide those. I'll change it to 1. Rounds are very big over here. Great. Now all 1 rounds are given. Now, to create this threading, we can do it in solid, since you can see the cross section. The bottle has only 0.5 mm of thickness. So let me convert this into a solid first and then try to finish the other side. This is simple of 0.5. I'm adding the thickness toward the inner side of the model. You can see it converted into a solid. Now let's make the final one by using a revolve command as usual, which we already know, and take our references. Center line is already created and the particular thread is of 3 length at a distance of 12 with the diameter 40. Just take a rectangle. From here it's a distance of 12 with 3 length, diameter is 40. Once I say OK, it creates the. This is an example, a very simple example of making a bottle. There are much more complicated ones which we'll slowly keep uploading. You can see and you can learn. If you want to see the section view, as usual, you can click on the section view, give it a name, and then since the right view is given, I'll show you the right view section. Please feel free to contact us if you have any queries. Also, if you want to learn any advanced surfacing or if you want to join us for any CAD training, you can send us your information to the description given below. Thank you.